Hey y'all, thanks so much for joining. How are you doing? Today I am without a voice mod, so hey, it's good to be back. So today I wanted to go through the CCRU and sort of kind of explain from my point of view how things kind of converged. So I'll just let it play really quick.
Join us as we talk about the CYPHERS.NEWS calculator, the AQ cipher, as well as cryptography lore from the Y2K era. We'll uncover hidden histories. Don't miss it.
All right, cool. So you guys all know the calculator. We're going to talk about the spawn, CYPHERS.NEWS with the I, that was made specifically as a reference for the work of the CCRU. And of course, the CCRU is timed to a very specific era in history, so I'm no way affiliating the calculator with their movement. However, I'm just gonna kind of see how someone from that era has now, been using our calculator since the last few years, and kind of talk about how that convergence happened. How sick are these hoodies, by the way? And hey, Eric, in the chat, I actually have a slide about you, so thanks for joining the stream. All right, so I wanted to bring about this coincidence factor before I kind of go into everything else. So 1992 was a huge year before the CCRU, or kind of like the spawn for them, because two of their founders published a book in that year. Coincidentally, I was born that year, so I'm the founder of Cyphers. I was born in 1992, so you guys know how when you kind of
join us as we
look at the era, and you kind of think oh, what was going on the year I was born? I know a lot of you might have been born the same year, think around that time, and what was happening in that era of the 90s. And it's so interesting that just happened to be the year that two of these books got published. So that's complete coincidence. Now, there is another coincidence that, I specifically wrote Land here because Nick Land is the person that became affiliated with using our calculator much later on here, where that green line is in 2024. But there is a story that Nick Land eventually moved to China, and I was living in China around 2010, and I think that's when he moved there, around that era. So that's another coincidence. So there was these two major coincidences that kind of converged, and then in 2024, that's when the timelines converged anyway. Thought I'd throw that out right there. I did make some sort of infographic for y'all, so to kind of explain this a bit better. So, all right, so yeah, in 1992, the dates do overlap as mentioned. So in 1992, The Thirst for Annihilation by Nick Land was published. Land's academic and philosophical work was already underway. He had published a thesis, I believe in 1987, for his PhD. And so this was kind of his first major work after his PhD thesis. And also, Sadie Plant also published a book that same year. So they're two of the major co-founders of the CCRU. But obviously, there's this whole lore of there's never been a CCRU and all that. But this is kind of like the Warwick side of it. England, by the way. So hey, I'm Net, or that's my username. I was born in 1992. So Nick Land had already completed his PhD thesis by the time I was born. I was born the same year as The Thirst for Annihilation, and the significance is just casual, but I thought it was interesting. So in 1995, in the CCRU timeline, the unit really takes shape. So Sadie Plant establishes the CCRU at Warwick University in England, and they form an official research unit, and its work obviously develops through collective experimentation and theory throughout that time. In 1997, more of their work sort of emerges. So the unit publishes and circulates core materials, theory, fiction, computation, cybernetics overlap in this archive. And now just remember, I mean, this era, like right before the Y2K movement, and then 1999 when The Matrix comes out. So very much like the era of computers and simulation theory kind of, you know, being coined, and cybernetics and all these like popularized movements. So it's really cool and awesome. I wish I had been an adult around that era, but I was very young in 1997. I was still, you know, 5 years old or something. So I do have this FOMO, which I think a lot of us have, of wow, like what did we miss? They really got to experience it. I mean, Nick Land and Sadie Plant really got to experience it in the 90s. So it's amazing the kind of work that came out of their research. So their official, like, Warwick University, I believe it ends around this era, maybe a bit earlier. Or maybe this was right after I have a bit more concise timeline in my presentation, but I think this is when potentially, because they moved from Warwick to Leamington Spa in England, I think that's when this ended. So in 2015, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm still new to this research, but the writings are published in 2015. CCRU Writings 1997 to 2003 brings the group's work to a wider readership. This marks an archive return. In 2018, Land publishes some work on Bitcoin. And a lot more happens, but I'm going to jump to 2020. That's when Cyphers begin. So I had a different username back then for Cyphers. It was actually called Contingency, so I'll share with you now what it was actually before. Yeah, this was the prototype. I mocked this up on a Wix website. So this was the logo that actually Gematria made for me. And I called it the Contingency Calculator. I made this for Mikkel, who was the coder, because I was like, this is the best I can do for you, because I'm more like a, I guess a producer in a way. Like I just think of ideas, and then I obviously, you know, recruited a coder, and I'll talk about that, how that kind of happened. But yeah, this was like the, so I kind of wanted to start like a more movement type, like have calculators, but also have news, have textbooks, have a way to interact. Anyway, that was kind of like the original. So it wasn't Cyphers from the start, but it was like the preliminary ideas of Cyphers was happening in 2020. That's when my Gematria documentary came out. I'll talk more about that in a bit. 2021 is when Gematria enters production. So I had recruited Mikkel. You guys saw my contingency notes. There was way more than that. So Mikkel ends up developing the calculator. I end up using it. Like we use Gematria. Basically, I'm like marketing Gematria as if, you know, that's the sole calculator that I was using at the time. And I start like marketing and promoting it heavily. But, you know, there was some like disagreements about the direction. So Gematria ended up going offline. So when he went offline the next year, I forked it. So I will explain everything and kind of who helped me fork it in a bit. But yeah, CYPHERS.NEWS as like a domain became a thing in 2022, and it's a modified version of Gematria basically. So back to Nick Land. So Nick Land returns in 2023 to the internet sphere. You know, he had multiple blogs throughout this time, by the way. And then, so he returns under the handle Xenocosmography. He's talking about numerology, religion, the Numogram. Obviously, this becomes like you know, a craze because he's back on the internet, which at this time I had no idea who he was. I'll talk about how I learned about him in a second. But in 2024, it's interesting that Elon Musk enters the chat because Xenosystems is published in book form. This is Nick Land's blog in written form. Land returns for a 3-hour conversation with some YouTubers. Elon Musk begins publicly replying to Xeno on X, and I mean, like, you can see it right here. And this is no secret. I think for the longest time I thought it was, you know, I had a lot of conspiracies about who this account was running. Obviously, I didn't know much about it at all. And then, you know, after learning that it was Nick Land, I thought that was a secret, but it's not a secret. So this is actually public knowledge that Nick Land runs, you know, Cosmography. So I thought, I was like, whoa, this is so curious. I mean, someone like Elon Musk is interacting with him. But the reason I even, like, you know, this all happened is because of Electron. So Electron, he is a collaborator from 2020 of mine, but like in 2024, he discovered a whole new world. I keep saying that he opened portals, but yeah, he discovered a specific cipher called Syncs, and he shared this. You know, he ends up networking. He discovers Nick Land's work. He ends up networking with Nick Land on X, and this led to Xeno or Nick Land hearing about Gematro and the Electron's calculator, and then, you know, eventually Cypher's calculator, which leads to the 2024 posts where he says Gematro's over and we have this now, and he links our calculator, which is like such a privilege and very like very honored. But again, I have, you know, when this gets tweeted, I had never heard of him. I had never heard of the CCRU. I had never heard of Nick Land. I had never heard of Xeno Cosmography. So it became this kind of like, you know, labyrinth per se to like figure out, you know, all the ways that this was like important, if that makes sense. Like I was so naive. I had no clue, no understanding. Like, you know, I was talking to Electron at this time, but it was like we hadn't really caught up in a while, so it was kind of like a major surprise. But like incredibly honored, humbled, just so amazed, because he is literally one of, if not the best cryptographer of our generation. And I don't say that lightly. And we don't have enough cryptographers as it is, but he is the best at it. And, you know, hopefully leading by his example, a lot of more people can and have been learning about cryptography and will continue to learn about cryptography. And this is what we're all about at Cyphers. We're all about proliferation of cryptography and cryptography tools. And so this is, you know, hopefully a method of more people learning about different ciphers and how they can be used. So major props and thanks to Electron for converging the timelines, because if it wasn't for Electron, none of this would happen. So in 2025, Land explains the Numogram in a long-form public interview. And so I eventually like start learning a bit more about him and his work, and obviously as I'm getting to understand his history and his lore and everything, I'm like, oh my god, like this is he's a legend. He is an absolute legend. And so I was like, I need to make his own spawn. Like he needs his own spawn. Like he uses very particular ciphers. So this is when I launched CYPHERS.NEWS as a spawn specifically for him and his work and anyone interested in his work. So I made CYPHERS.NEWS a dedicated calculator for his work. And so I thought this was interesting, so I'll pull this up in a second. But if you go to Alphanumeric Kabbalah and you type in the CCRU, and you type in ciphers, equals the same So this is what we're talking about with cryptography, hiding riddles, numbers, hidden messages. It's a form of homage as well, right? So when I saw that ciphers equals the CCRU, I was like, oh my god, this is even more perfect because this is the domain for his spawn, right? So yeah, so it became like, okay, here's a version of this calculator specifically for you because you're such a legend. And yeah, obviously it has all the other ciphers, but yeah. Okay, I think I've covered everything on here. Let me just check. So, okay. So in 2026, Glenn visited San Francisco. They hosted, I think it was like hosted by Vice. You know, Grimes was there, Curtis Yarvin, The New Yorker was at this event. So he is now more than ever becoming a global phenomenon. I mean, everyone anyone knows about him at this point, if they hadn't already. And, you know, more books are coming out. And so in 2026 now, like, I'm just actually beginning my research work on understanding the CCRU and its history, its lore, every component about it. I am finally getting to grips with it because I've, you know, been a slow learner, and it's taken me, since 2024, like 2 years to really, you know, now start to be like, okay, I'm going to sit down and figure this out because it's so fascinating and there's so much to learn. All right, so now hopefully we get to like a what do you call it? Like a synopsis of where we're at. So I wanted to share obviously some decodes that have been shared with me, primarily by Electron, but these are, you know, things that the community has found, but also just either Zeno or Nick Land specifically. I think he at some points mentions that this was a complete coincidence to him. I believe he chose xenocosmography because it equals 333, and perhaps he wrote the words Gnostic Calvinism because it equals 333. But I believe that he was surprised that Dark Enlightenment also equals 333. And these, obviously the CCRU stands for the Cybernetic Culture Research Unit. This is one of the main, you know, areas of the lore is the architectonic order of the eschaton. And then the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is in the King James Version Bible. So he's very much a proponent of the English language. He's British, you know, Anglosphere is very important to him. He almost even attributes it to the angels and angel numbers. So that's why you see a lot of the repeating numbers. And yeah, this is like the epitome of what genius cryptography is. You can't really get much better than this. Like, this is the standard, right, of what any cryptographer would dream of. So this is why he is such a legend, and like just his username alone. But there's so much more that he's, you know, this is just a snapshot of some of the work that he's done with cryptography. So I want to talk about a coincidence that I've found. So a coincidence that I was like shocked about was that singularity, which is one of the main proponents of his work, and the cumulative, particularly his later work after the CCRU's main era, is about the singularity. And I just could not help but notice that CYPHERS.NEWS equals the singularity in several ciphers, but some of them being ordinal, reduction, reverse ordinal, and alphanumeric Kabbalah. And I actually named it CYPHERS.NEWS as an homage to our coder. Long story, you can read the X post if you want, but yeah. So I had coded CYPHERS.NEWS for a specific reason, but nothing to do with singularity. And then just lo and behold, once I typed it in, I was like, whoa, that's curious. That's very cool. Because he's like researching and, you know, writing about the singularity and using our calculator quite often for this work. All right, so I wanted to talk about our side of the history. So we kind of get a bit more up to date in terms of, who I am, what this, team has grown from, and, the tools, how they kind of, begin. So I am no longer front facing. I used to be, but not anymore. I've retreated to a pseudo-anonymous position with this work. I much more enjoy now being behind the scenes. But back then, I was very much front forward facing. My whole name was out, my birthday, everything about me you could have learned back then is out there. In 2020, I was a film alumni, so I had graduated film school in 2014. I had already had 6 years of experience, scripting, camera operating, directing, editing, these are all the things that you learn in film school. I had them all under my belt. So when what we call scamdemic happened in 2020, I had really, immersed myself into the world of Gematria. And I had so many questions, so I immediately interviewed the top 2 YouTubers about Gematria, and so that's where my documentary sort of had this, micro-viral agenda to help others, learn about the tools and whatnot. So I ended up becoming Gematrinator, which is one of the major calculators, close friends with him and kind of a moderator in his chat and everything like that. And so I kind of developed a friend circle through Gematrinator, and I started spawning the ideas for ciphers, which at the time, again, was contingency. So this logo right here, again, this was kind of like the prototype. It was going to be a blog, a calculator, it's kind of merging a lot of these hopes for the future. Oh. Okay, and then after that year, a lot happened. So after that documentary, I was, networking a lot, especially on the Gematrinator Discord, and this is where I met who I called at the time co-founders, even though they probably would not agree. I called them co-founders because it would not be possible without them. Literally, absolutely not. Our friendship was the reason that all this was possible back then. So that's why I kind of call them OG co-founders, you know what I mean? So our first version, and I want to say it was particularly me and Mikhail, goes by Gematro. It was particularly me and him discussing this idea for this calculator because he's I realized that he has incredible coding skills, and I was all off the kick of my documentary going micro-viral, and I was I really want a Gematria calculator. I was kind of in the works of creating a team to figure that out, and Mikhail was there. So Mikhail and I went through months of revisions of ideas. He ended up going all on his own and creating Gematro. And Electron was in these conversations as a consultant in terms of he was running his blog at this time. He was really getting to terms about what Gematria is, what ciphers are used for what, types of decoding. So he was primarily the go-to person for this kind of research. So again, you've seen my prototypes, my ideas. So I recruited him. He eventually makes the Gematro calculator at gematro.github.io. In 2021, that's when we launched. I covered that before. And then in 2002, Gematria goes offline. So at this time, I started dating someone new, and there's kind of a few jokes going on back then that a lot of people thought I hired. I don't know. It was hired an actor to be my boyfriend. I don't know. So my actual boyfriend, he uses the username Heathix. But anyway, so he joins me at this time where Gematria goes offline. I'm panicking. I'm I lost my calculator. I've lost a lot of work. that I had previously built for the last 2 years, and he's like, oh, you know what, I saved a copy of it. So he helps me, you know, progress this idea. And so I, you know, thought of what username to use, and I went with CYPHERS.NEWS as an homage to Gematro. So here I am in 2022. I'm relaunching, you know, the vision that I had from 2020, but now at this new username. And I'm like, I had thought of Cyphers as this perfect username because I had been reading a lot of cryptography work from the 1600s, you know, King James, Sir Francis Bacon, Cornelius Agrippa, and they all were writing ciphers with a Y. And I was like, why is nobody like, you know, at this time, like everyone was circulating it ciphers with the I. And I was like, no, like let's bring it back. Like this is knowledge like that is hundreds of years old. So I was like, this is perfect. We're gonna respawn using this username. Here we are today, a few years later. So in 2024, this is Eric was in our chat, so I don't know if you're still here, live, potentially. Okay, so yeah, in 2024 we meet Hyperdope, and he is the person that helps update the calculator after Gematro leaves the chat, right? So Gematro has left the chat at this point. You know, I'm not a coder myself, so Hyperdope is an excellent coder. He helped us with the database. He helped us add so many more ciphers that Electron had recommended. So he's like a really great asset, just, you know, help and colleague, and just like an incredible person. So this is why the Cyphers repo is actually Gematro/Hyperdope, because it's both of them that helped this work move forward. Anyway, okay, fast forward. 2024, Electron, who I've already spoken about, you know, 2020 OG kind of quote-unquote co-founder, he had been running Gematria Research blog. If you don't know what that is, just go to our calculator and go to About, and then you can either go to his GitHub, you can go to his blog, or you can go to his calculator. So he really enjoys these ciphers as his like primary ones, but he has so much info about all the ciphers. So I would, if you have any questions about ciphers, definitely go to his website, his calculator, and hit About in Ciphers. You will learn everything there is to know under the sun. But he also runs this blog. So yeah, he's got, so have a look here, and you can kind of look at the history of most of the ciphers that you might have questions about. Okay, so in 2024, he observes this really interesting relationship between, you know, he has 0 to 9 and then A through Z. But then he has a very specific way of, you know, working with the numbers that he creates his own cipher. At this time, he's going by the username Albano Quintani, and this is actually coded. So if you're wondering why he's using this as a coded username, it's a really interesting code. I don't know if he's likes to make it public what it means. But yeah, so with Electron's help, again, at that time, he was helping us update the calc. We eventually added to the site. And this is what kind of converges everything, right? Cool. Okay. So because of Electron and the sync cipher, which stands for synchronicity, I mean, Electron has a lot more to say about the cipher. I feel like hopefully we could potentially, and I'm not sure, I might try to ask him for an interview. I know he doesn't do public discourses as much anymore, but yeah, if not, I'll try to go on a deep dive syncs for you guys. And why Syncs is kind of cool and awesome is, you know, Elon Musk ends up tweeting about Syncs. And I don't know if, you know, I've run a poll of what people think if he actually was talking about the cipher. And the poll was actually saying that, yeah, people think he was talking about the cipher. It's a reply to Zeno. So let me see if we can click it. So yeah, I mean, answer in the style of Syncs. I mean, I'm sitting here like, does he use a calculator? And if so, has he ever visited ciphers? I don't know. It's quite interesting to wonder about. Like, I also think it's quite a funny tweet. Like, answer in the style of Syncs, talk like a pirate, and use extremely vulgar humor. Like, this whole personification of ciphers being like a certain gender or a certain backstory, or I don't know, even like a certain way of talking is really interesting. I think there's a lot more to say about this that hasn't been really said yet. So it'd be interesting if anyone has some insight on why. I mean, I know that Syncs is complement. You know, anytime I've asked Electron about Syncs, he says it's complementary. It's kind of like AQ's sister. I mean, let's go back to the cipher. So it's like, let me just empty them and I will put. So obviously alphanumeric Kabbalah popularized by the CCRU in the 90s. Syncs only created in 2023-2024. So nothing to do with each other in terms of, you know, the historical sense. However, because Syncs was presented to Zeno and Zeno, you know, found it to be really fascinating. Of course, Nick Land of the CCRU. So it kind of just converged in that way of like, now they're kind of brother and sister per se. But yeah, and I've also found an interesting coincidence about that, but we'll get to that in a different stream, I think. Okay. Oh gosh. All right. So let's go back to 2024. So Syncs is discovered by Electron. Again, Zeno is very clear about this, you know, attributing to Syncs to the CCRU is odd. He replies to someone. It was discovered by Albano. Albano, again, is Electron, who I greatly miss, he says. And, you know, past this memo, I hope he will come back to X. Okay, so in 2024, Electron also posted about different calculators and CYPHERS.NEWS, actually, by coincidence. And this is the tweet that eventually gets us on the map. So huge shout out to Electron for, you know, I don't think he meant to do this on purpose. It kind of was just like a spur of the moment. And, you know, just, again, he opens up portals. He opens up portals, okay? So Nick Lance ends up hearing about Camacho, you know, through Albano, again, Electron being the person who discovered Syncs. And he writes, Albano seems to having a crisis of faith about Camacho. Again, Camacho had gone offline, blah, blah, blah. So Nick Land eventually, you know, says what we've all been thinking in this scene, that Camacho is over. We have this now because Camacho was literally over. He had literally taken off his calculator offline. So now, you know, and again, Camacho is like something that I pretty much executively produced through Mikhail, recruiting Mikhail, and Mikhail had, you know, worked on Camacho explicitly on his own code. And so we spawned through that. So I don't, like, there's no, like, bad energy with Camacho. It's just, you know, Camacho simply did not want to continue his work. So we kind of launched after that. So anyway, Nick Land in 2024 continues to kind of, like, you know, add suggestions. So he asked, can CYPHERS.NEWS be persuaded to add a certain cipher? I think it was numeric QWERTY. Yeah, okay. So he numeric QWERTY finally turned up for me. So yeah, I ended up adding that cipher for him. And we get to continue kind of discussing. So he posts some really incredible, you know, work, opinions about gematria. And so, like, for example, the most traditional usage of gematria is to communicate with angels. Many still seek to employ it in this way. I've had times, it's the alternative of the hobbyist usage that is novel and fallen, requiring, you know what I mean? Like, to me, this is incredible because I've been struggling for so long to find, a role model in the gematria scene, someone who's A, understanding of gematria, but B, uses it in a positive and uplifting way. And I was like, oh wow, okay, eloquently written, exactly so. Gematria is an esoteric art. And then, he also says constructive usage of the gematria can be remarkably degraded if taken seriously, demands greater caution and skepticism. Anyway, this is about, like, a lot of it is about the gematria fallout. Anyway, and I say, so 100% is a collaborative effort to share work and peer review matches. No thesis should be censored. All ciphers welcome. So at the point there is that, like, you need to, like, consider, you can't just do the work and just expect everyone else to agree with you. It's very much a peer reviewed scene. So we kind of bond over, at least on my end, I bond over the fact that, Zeno is a huge proponent of the KGB. He's a huge fan of the Anglosphere. Obviously, he's from Britain, so this is his culture, his heritage. But specifically, he is, a proponent of Protestantism, and furthermore, John Calvin, who was a branch of Protestant. But yeah, so he says the KGB Bible should be taught in schools as cultural history and literature. Its interpretation as inspired scripture should also be taught as cultural history and literature. And he also ran I think it was a poll, best election indicator, and he said esoteric KJV reading, which I thought was hilarious. So I was like, oh my god, all his fans also are like huge KJV fans, which I had coincidentally also in the last few years become like a super fan of the KJV since 2020. I even got this is my video, so this is my Bible. So I said the 1611 King James Version Bible inscribed in Old English spellings. The KJV King James survived the gunpowder plot, to which we celebrate November 5th in the UK. And James RX is one of my favorite cryptographers, and James RX is coded A equals King James, but that's his signature. And, King James Bible is a stunning cryptographic work. Together with Sir Francis Bacon, they, basically made this incredible cryptogram. Specifically, if you read the 1611 version, not so much the new standard revised version, but yeah. So of course I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. I didn't know about you all my life, but now I'm like, wow, all these coincidences are lining up. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I happened to be rewatching this series I loved growing up. And I was laughing so much at this scene because it just reminded me of me in a way. And I was like, oh my god, that looks almost like Nick Land in the 90s. And this specific episode, I think, is about... Oh, God, I don't know. I think she's decoding some alien scripts. I think that's what it was. She's decoding some alien language. And I'm like, I don't know. It was so funny, this scene to me. So I had to clip it. So anyway, they're talking about cryptography in this show. It's called Roswell. I don't know if you guys remember. I feel like if I type it on YouTube. Let me just do it really quick. You'll probably know. So it was in 1999. It came out in 1999. But I probably watched it well after, I don't know, mid 2000s. But yeah, this probably if not my favorite. No, it's definitely my favorite. I think this is my favorite TV show. It's so awesome. It's about aliens. About you get like more. It's kind of like a chick flick alien. I don't know show. He's an alien, and that's not a spoiler. It's literally in the freaking. Sorry, it's literally in the bio. But anyway, so I want to play this really quick. Let me see if it'll play it. Maybe if I do it this way. Okay.
So what exactly is so special about these computers anyway?
Greatest potentials in the field of cryptography.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. He was definitely trying to decode something.
Is there any way of finding out what he was doing?
Looks kind of Native American.
So what exactly is so special?
So yeah, I was laughing so much rewatching this show because I just couldn't believe that I had watched this show when I was growing up, and I like completely passed over me that they mentioned cryptography, and I end up like being in the field of cryptography, and I kind of like, she's kind of my archetype. But also the fact that this 90s computer with the matrix rain, it looks like a CYPHERS.NEWS if it was in the 90s. It just cracks me up. Like the fact that he kind of looks like Nick Land in the 90s, it just made me feel like it's like, oh my god, the universe is saying like the timelines converged again, as if like I time traveled to the 90s or something. And the fact that they're talking about decoding, it was just cracking me up. I was like, I need to post this. There was another one. So I did a meme of it too.
Is there any way of finding out what he was doing?
I was just like loading CYPHERS.NEWS in the 90s. Because obviously there was no calculator back then. Definitely not an online calculator. I don't know what. Maybe there was like a physical one, but yeah, I found it hilarious. So yeah, forever meme. Okay, again, we've covered this part. But this happened in 2024, right? Like kind of like the same year that we're networking. So I was scrolling through my feed in 2025, and I ended up seeing him talk about angels, I think it was. Where is it? Okay. Where was it? Okay. I think it was this tweet. So he says, I don't know what we were talking about. I think somebody else posted something, and then he replied to them and said, you can complement it with whatever is required for angelic endorsement. For example, blah, blah. Now the lemur. Okay. What stood out to me out of this was angelic endorsement. And obviously the lemurs, which at the time I didn't know what those were. Angelic endorsement. So I'm like, what is it? What do you mean by angelic endorsement? Because I had never heard of gematria being used for that reason. So I was like, Zeno, I have so many inquiries on your approach to angelic endorsement. Maybe set an interview up, or are you open to pen pal? Sent you some AQ matches of angel numbers in DM. And I think he replied something like, hang on a moment, sluggish response time for this kind of thing. I just said, for sure, take your time. We do end up, and obviously our audience wants us to interview him. I mean, he got 50% poll results in our interviews question. Yeah, we do end up chatting for a bit. So that did end up happening. I won't leak what we talked about, but yeah. And then yeah, just some more, I think he was kind of interested in the whole history of the calculator a bit, so we talked about that. Okay, so I ended up talking to him a bit more on the public forum. I think, what did I say? Oh yeah. Okay. So I said, if only we had logged online in the mid 90s and met the founders of the CCRU. I do wonder what cryptography calculator was used then. That's a story I'd love to hear. He replied, which I'm so thankful he replied, because again, if you remember that meme I just put out earlier, but he said paper and pencil, Amstrad, word processing only if we were being high tech. I'm like, oh my god, legend. That is so inspiring. So this is an Amstrad. I mean, I just looked up a GIF of it, but this is what they had in the 90s. So yeah, I guess there was a computer, but I'm not really sure what kind of calculator it actually would have looked like. That's an experiment for sure. That would be really cool to actually try one. So I made this as a sort of homage when timelines converge. I'm just like, again, it's just so honored that he uses our calculator, and I just find it, again, funny with that meme that I had found earlier of the 90s Matrix Code Rain computer. I was like, oh my god, this is like perfect for a little internet moment. Oh. Okay, so because of all those interactions, I was like, you know, over the moon with the interactions. Again, so thankful for Electron for making it possible, for converging the timelines, opening up that portal. Because again, I was just looking for a role model in the scene, and finally a role model, like somebody who is so meticulous and has such a legendary history with cryptography that it's like, wow, I'm so like impressed, so again humbled, just amazed. And I made the calc spawn, so I tweeted it. I was like, hey guys, it's official, we're making a spawn in honor of the CCRU, where AQ is set as the default cipher. What should we name it? And then when I realized that ciphers equals the CCRU, I was like, bam, that's it. We're going with ciphers with an I, and it ended up being a little fun riddle. Now, obviously, we are not affiliated with the CCRU whatsoever yet. It was just kind of an homage. Again, 2026, fast forward this year. I can't believe it was this year. Every time I think about this tweet, I almost think it was like years ago. But no, oh my gosh, it was February of this year. It was only a few months ago. This needs to go on like a shirt. Like, I need to get this on a shirt for Electron because I think it's just incredible that he discovered a cipher that Elon Musk ends up tweeting about. I think, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't care as much of the, you know, I don't know, owning up to that. But I think that's freaking awesome that he, you know, got there. And then fast forward to very recently, we recruited, or may I say, I recruited, in a sense. It just happened naturally, but like once the kind of, you know, so I met Resonating Loop on Twitter. Let me see, I think I have her Twitter up. Yeah. So we met on Twitter, and, you know, with no like intention of it getting to this point, we kind of had discussions of other topics and other projects that we had. But it just so happened that, you know, we were updating the ciphers calculator, and we were like, this could use a major revamp, and this is such a good opportunity to kind of find somebody who has talent but also is willing to contribute, but it's also like wants to be the co-founder of this next chapter. So yeah, we offered her to be the next CTO, but also co-founder, because we're gonna take this in a completely new direction now that we've like kind of gotten to grasp with what we want for the future. So yeah, really excited to have her on board as the new coder. So yeah, so she will rewrite the codes to get us out of the simulation. That's a joke, but like she will rewrite, be the main point person to rewriting the code for us. We are thinking of designing a completely new calculator. One, to like move away from the copyright that Camacho was holding because he's no longer, affiliated with Cyphers. But two, because we have so many more ideas that we want to implement, especially now that, there's so much more that we can learn from everything that the CCRU was working on. We can kind of try to branch and build off of that. So yeah, very exciting new phase for us. And I know that... Oh, hi! So excited. Yeah, she's in the chat right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, so she actually... Sorry, I just literally realized that the chat was popping up because it's 3 a.m. here. No, it's about 4 a.m. So, okay, I've just copied your... Is it this one? Oh gosh. I might not have copied the entire thing. 1 second. Hyperstition. Let me just Google first. One second, let me... Oh. Google's blocked. What is going on? Okay. Maybe it's my internet being weird. Yeah, okay. Anyway, she says she found a calculator that they used back then, and so then... Was it in the 90s that they used it? That's so awesome. Sorry about that. The link wasn't working. Not even Google was working. That was weird, but I'll try again in a bit. And then, hi Logan. Get voice chat right now. You're here? Okay. Alright, let me finish up this chapter, Logan. And I'll add you to the call. But yeah, Colette was so nice and generous with her time. She has been taking a deep dive into the CCRU. She has really studied the components and has helped me understand it from the lens of like, we just have a very similar background, her and I. So it was like, Electrion had been teaching me and tutoring me for the last few years on the CCRU, but I was like struggling to catch up. So she's really manifested this new chapter for me of like getting up to speed, pun intended, accelerating the information about accelerationism. And actually I just got off the call with her. So yeah, 2000s. I like, we're so similar. It's wild. I mean, we're very much almost the same person. So I'm very excited for this next chapter and welcoming her. And again, she might have other ideas too that we might eventually branch off and, take her direction on. And she, might want to share that in the future. But yeah, for now, we are going to kind of tackle ciphers together and see what we can build. And then from there, if there's anything that we find like, oh my gosh, this could be an entirely its own project, then we'll go from there and take her lead on that. But yeah. Okay. We are now at the part that I am learning more about the CCRU. And this is where the part that we are going to hop on Discord and get Logan in the chat. Oh my god, you guys are here. Hello. Hey, is my voice doubled up again?
Your stream has a delay. I was trying to get your attention. I'm message banned on Discord for a day.
Oh, okay.
I was epically debating Muslims, and they banned my account. They message banned my account. I also got banned, regular banned, as well. Okay, well, careful what you say, because we are live. Chat in the YouTube, can you actually hear us? Is there a double... And can you... I don't know. Let me just see.
Oh, I can try to...
I think it's normal. Can you stream your screen on Discord, though, so we can see your thing in real time?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was late. I was watching epic Muslim debates, and I got caught up.
All right. Well, switch gears because we are talking about the CCRU. So, all right.
Okay.
I've covered the timeline already. So, but we are gonna revisit it. So, do you mind like walking it through it with us?
Yeah, I'm a CCRU master. Yeah.
Okay, sick. All right, here we go. So we're gonna start with 1992.
All right. Yeah. 1992 Sadie Plant. We get xenofeminism. Nick Land. He's a professor or whatever his British school, and he gets like his like-minded. I'm trying to get Nate back in here. Like-minded, retards into a group, and he never founds the CCRU because the CCRU never existed. It was never founded. The paperwork is never done. They were all fired from the university before that could happen. But yes, yeah, they talking about xenofeminism and accelerationism and jungle music.
Yeah, sick. Okay. Yeah, I was born that year. So that's really cool.
You're a CCRU baby.
No, but like I'm just shocked that was going on. That's so cool. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, you missed out.
So 1994 is this famous. Let me just play it. Whoa, that was really loud, right?
To masculine identity, and that there's no great need for us to rush in and somehow turn it into something.
Wait, can you guys see it?
I can see it.
Is it playing? Oh, okay.
Female. But first of all, on this question of
so you guys kind of get the idea.
Cyberspace itself being supposedly immaterial.
Sorry, I can hear myself twice. That's why if I sound weird, it's because it's really strange to hear myself twice because I'm on Discord. Anyway.
Oh, I don't even have the stream open.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is a famous interview of her. Oh, sorry. She's obviously giving a presentation. I think Nick Land is in the audience here. This is kind of one of the only recordings of her, though, right?
I don't know. I think.
Yeah, I think so. And then as far as Nick back then, I think this is the only video footage that we have of him as well, right?
No, he has a lot more video footage, especially later in his career.
No, I mean from the 90s.
Or from the 90s, most likely.
Okay, so this is
I think there's some, archivals of his lectures or his jungle things.
There is a very similar pattern that you find in the structure of societies, in the structure of companies, and in the structure of computers. And all three are moving in the same direction. That is, away from a top-down structure of a central command system, giving the system instructions about how to behave, towards a system that is parallel, that is flat, which is a web, and which change moves.
Yeah, so,
from the...
this is why he looks exactly like that meme that I had earlier from Roswell. I was like, whoa, the connection. Anyway.
He has like an epic meme.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so in 1995, so CCRU was like an official part of the Warwick University, though, right?
No, it was never. They never submitted the paperwork for it, so officially the CCRU never existed.
Oh. Yeah,
but it was unofficially established in Warwick.
I see. So during this time, they're having like conferences and presentations, parties.
They did lectures. They did like drug-induced lectures.
Love that. As you would. Okay, so this is Warwick University on the left here. I've actually randomly been to Warwick because I now live in England. I was there just coincidentally on like a layover, and I was Googling it, and there's a massive castle there. It's called Warwick Castle, and coincidentally, King James, the author of the King James Bible, helped
King James
restore
didn't write the King James Bible.
No, but yeah, he commissioned it. But he was part of the major discussions for it, so that's why he hired a team of 40 cryptographers. But yeah, Yeah, so I was like, huge King James lore because King James helped restore the Warwick Castle in the 1600s. So it's like convergence again of like, wow, the fact that this happened in Warwick is mad to me, given how much he loves the King James version. Anyway,
But he hated the King James version. He's always given me that
no, he loves
that vibe
it.
that he kind of hates it.
No,
He says it's decaying. He says his own personal copy is decaying, and that's a sign of the times. And I replied to it, and I said my King James was increasing in power, and he said schisming upon schism, or something of the sort of that.
he replied to you that said that.
He did. I read last year.
That's funny.
If you scroll back my Twitter account long enough, you'll find it. I mean, it's not worth it, but I mean, you can find it.
Let me try Google once again because I'm really confused why Google was not working before. Oh my god, why is Google It's like I'm in China or something.
You are.
No, honestly, what is going on? I just wanted to go to Google Maps. Maps. Oh, whatever. I was gonna look it up, but no, whatever. Okay. So 97. Have you read this book? So Zeros and Ones by City Plant.
I have not read this book.
Okay. No, I've not. Like, I've delved into some, like, scanning, but I've not actually read it. So this is my, like, the next chapter for me is actually reading all the books. But I just wanted to give a preliminary, like, presentation about, like, the timeline, if that makes sense. But yeah, super inspiring, amazing, like, cyber feminism, and obviously, like, she's pioneering this work. Oh gosh, what did I click? Okay, there we go. All right, so 97. So there were more people involved, right? So Sadie Plant, Nick Land, but like I don't actually know the timeline of when everyone else joined.
I know Sadie Plant, Nick Land, and Mark Fisher joined around the same time. That's all I know.
Okay.
Did you tell the frog story yet?
No.
Nick Land, sometime before he was fired from Warwick or left Warwick, was giving a lecture. This is one of the reasons the CCRU is never accepted as a official group in Warwick. He was like making frog noises while playing jungle music on like a DJ set as like a lecture, and one of his students got up and proclaimed, "Some of us are still Marxists," and stormed out of the room.
That's awesome. I'm so sorry. Colette, Desert Resonate Tricks in the chat. She said that there's a faint echo. So I don't really know how to fix that. Why is it, do you have me on speakerphone? Okay. I think that fixed it.
Noise suppression on.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Is this your alt?
It was what, my alt?
Colette? Or is this another person?
No, that's her. Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
Is this Desert?
Yes. I just wanted to say that the frog thing was 96. It's called, the seminal piece is called Meltdown. If you want to search it on YouTube and take a look at any point.
Thank you.
I would love to take a look. Let me see if it actually will load.
I'm sorry, I missed your introduction. I was trying to get Number Foyd's attention.
You're fine.
What do you do? Who are you?
So I just joined the project. I'm going to be helping, I guess technically CTO or whatever. I'm going to be helping code the redesign.
Do you have any connections to Nick Land or related characters?
No. He replied to me once.
Same here.
Yeah, I've been really invested in learning about the CCRU for a while now.
Very nice.
Okay, is this it? Meltdown? Nick Land? I can't tell.
I think that's it.
Oh wow. I don't know. This might be just an indie art project.
Here, I have a link.
Okay. Thank you. Like, Okay. Oh, thanks so much for joining.
I'm gonna put it in CCRU locker.
Okay, perfect. If you guys want to chat with Colette or Logan, please join our Discord. Be great to have you here if you're watching and tuning in. Okay, so Meltdown.
So this isn't the original recording. I don't think it is, but I don't know if that exists or where it exists, but this is at least kind of what it sounded like a little bit.
Oh my gosh. This is awesome. This is so cool. So like Colette, you were saying, I mean, you're a huge EDM fan. So you were saying like the work that they were doing back then and like converging with the music scene, like the prototypes of like the EDM scene. Is that true? Is like they kind of pioneered?
They had a huge influence, like Code 9, especially his legacy and the whole Hyperdub record label. They influenced like, what's his name? Burial, which is considered one of the best, what is it, Archangel? I forget now, but it's considered one of the better tracks to have ever been released. They had a huge influence.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I never knew that. Like I've liked EDM, but I never realized that. That's so cool. Okay, so a lot of these people joined particularly halfway through, potentially, or even after the whole Warwick era. But yeah. So Plant, again, we covered her earlier, cyberfeminism, right? Land accelerationism, mostly.
Well, so Sadie founded the CCRU, and Nick Land joined shortly after. And I think like a year, 2-3 years in, Sadie left. And then another year or two after that, the CCRU kind of got kicked out of Warwick as a whole. They got like a Kensington Spa, I think it was called, compound. And they did like Syzygy was there. Syzygy, and then that's where my knowledge trails off.
Gotcha.
They kind of went underground after that and dissolved really slowly and painfully.
Got you. Okay, cool. So in 2011, he released... Is it like a compilation of writing that he had already written during this? Okay.
And it features nothing about the Fangnomia. From what I've been told, it contains nothing about the title explanation. That's in his other collected writing books.
Okay. I think I have potential. I know, like, we've been sharing the books and stuff. I thought this meme was funny. It's Lana Del Rey with a copy. I mean, this is how far his work has gotten in like the pop culture scene. To even find a meme like this is incredible.
Yeah, Lana's like a big Nick Land fan and like Bronze Age pervert and all that stuff, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just an educated guess.
Yeah, no, I would not be surprised. Okay, so 2015. This is the book that everyone raves about. This is kind of like the handbook, right, to their entire kind of thesis. So CCRU 1997 to 2003, but eventually published in 2015. And right, I mean,
yeah, a lot of it can be found, is still found on their website.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull that up because I was struggling with Google.
It should be ccru.net.
Okay, let's try it.
Yeah, it should still be up. I last checked it a few months ago.
Oh my god, I did not put that right. 1 second. Okay, this might be my internet, you guys. Oh my gosh.
It is like a janky website.
No, I don't know. It must be my internet. Something's going weird.
I can
have
find
no
it.
idea.
What's the name of their card game?
Subdecadence?
Yeah, they have an official guide on it. If you look that up, it's like the third link to the website.
Yeah, I might still have it up from our discussion earlier. That's where I was looking at the Pandemonium Matrix.
Okay. Here, I think I have it.
I dropped a link in the chat.
Okay, sick.
I still had it open.
Okay. The voice chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I? Okay, one second. I forget how you look at them. Oh, yeah. Top right. Okay, got it. Okay, there we go. Oh, it loaded! This is great. Okay, amazing. So, archive, would it be under archive? Okay. So is whatever is on their website in the book, or is there more than what's on the website?
You know, I don't know. I haven't explored all the stories on the website and compared.
Okay.
A lot of them are.
Okay. Awesome.
They're also releasing a sequel sometime in the future.
Yeah.
That includes all the writings they didn't in the original pressing.
Colette was saying that.
It keeps getting pushed out.
Yeah, what's their publisher's name? They kind of suck.
Urbanomic, I think.
Yeah, Urbanomic.
Okay, so
they keep sending out damaged revolutionary demonology books. It's really making me mad.
So Colette was sharing with me that at the end of this book that we're talking about is the glossary, and I really struggled with, you know, learning new concepts and words, and a lot of this is really dense. So when she showed me this, I was like, oh my god, thank god. Like, this is actually such a great introduction if you're new and you need to like kind of scan through the words. So great suggestion. Thank you, Colette, for mentioning this, because you can look up all the words. Like, really good place to start if you're new like me and need like a crash course. Oh my god, that's so funny. This net organized connective system. Interesting.
Netvoid.
Yeah, I'd say sometimes the glossary doesn't help that much, but most of the time it's pretty useful. Sometimes it's just more of the same kind of words that leads people to the glossary in the first place.
Right.
They're all just made up anyway. It's kind of just vibe based.
Right. I mean, what I was sharing with Colette, like, it was kind of a coincidence for me too, because I was like considering myself a Gnostic, and I was like obsessed with this term in Gnosticism. It means like a pairing of two deities, like male and female. So for it to be like used, and then, I mean, he uses gnosis and a lot of other Gnostic terms, but I was like, whoa, this is a really interesting term. I mean, we'll talk about it in a second, but this is the foundation of the Numogram, right? Is those syzygies and the pairings of the numbers. Super fascinating. Okay, gosh, I keep pressing the wrong button. All right, so in 2022, he comes out with Dark Enlightenment, which is his blog post published in book form, if I'm not mistaken.
I think, no, you're thinking of, I forget the name of it, but it's not that. It's his old Twitter account name.
Yeah, I think this is just essays. Okay. I'm actually not positive I don't have this one, but Xenosystems is the one that's his blog.
Okay. All right. So okay, this one. The cover is so cool. Is it? Yeah, that is such a cool cover. Yeah.
I finally just got one.
Oh my god. Is it as beautiful in person? More beautiful?
It really is.
The choice of like the metallic-y. What is that? Is that alien language? I actually don't know. Like, what is this?
You know, I never thought about that too closely. There is, when you read it, what is it? Tick notation? Tick-Z notation? That basically does look like an alien language.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay.
He also had another blog that he also compiled into a book. I don't know, it's escaping me, but something number.
That's really helpful, Logan. Something number. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to find it.
This meme was all over the Twitter too. The one of Sydney Sweeney. I literally fell for this meme. I legit thought it was her holding it up. But apparently it's just a meme format. You could put any book in there.
I had not seen that before. That's amazing.
Yeah, like also would not be surprised if she was into it, right? Because she's kind of in that scene too, at least in the Republican scene. Okay, so 2025, Tucker Carlson enters the chat in the strangest way possible, right? I don't know. I think everyone has mixed feelings about him. But yeah, he's holding up a picture of the Numogram, the CCRU's work. So he kind of makes it, again, another mainstream wave through this blog. I think that I have the video linked really quick to play it.
No. I probably should have printed that out too.
I wore a red rubber band from a newspaper on my wrist for most of my life, given to me by my father, just as a...
Okay, I won't subject us to the entire thing, but I think Nick Land ends up responding to this as well in a positive way. I mean, he was happy that he got mentioned anyway. So this was wild, right, Colette? Because you and I are both mega Grimes fans, and that's Grimes. That's Grimes. And Grimes follows him on Twitter too.
I think it's pretty hilarious that at this party, Nick Land and Curtis Yarvin met in person for the first time, even though they pretty much collaborated on Dark Enlightenment. Well, not collaborated, but were very inspired by each other. But Grimes did write a piece on this on Vice about meeting Nick Land for the first time.
See, that was on a paywall, and I haven't actually read it. But so she actually wrote a piece. I didn't realize.
She was like partially interviewed for it, but it was mostly the piece. Yeah, speaking about from her experience.
Okay. What a wild, like, amazing, like, what a place to be, right?
Yeah, it's weird. Grimes touches like the teapot side of Twitter, the accelerationists, post-rats, and like is somehow part of none of them. It's super interesting what she's into and not into. The Please Don't Kill Us thing is not my favorite, but it's still interesting work.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Like, for the longest time, I've been trying to figure out if she uses gematria or not. Like, does she decode or not? I cannot tell for the life of me. And
she does not.
She does not.
I don't think she did. I think she was introduced to all this by Elon Musk.
Right. No, 100%. But so you don't think she decodes?
Personally, no. I think she's a little fascinated by it, but she was introduced to this world by Elon Musk, and I don't think she'll venture further.
What do you think, Colette?
I honestly don't think so either, if for the sole fact that she really is very open when she posts on Twitter about not knowing things and wanting to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if it had ever crossed her mind as something she wanted to learn about, she would have posted
Join us as we talk about the CYPHERS.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing, you guys. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off. the stream.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I think she would have posted about it. I don't think she'd be secretive about it, honestly. She is a female autist publicly, and I feel like she does not care too much about being honest on Twitter. Right. So I think she would have asked more about it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I like that kind of, makes me a bit sad because she has so much potential, especially like with lyrics. You could do so much with cryptography, and even like encoding things at specific hooks. Like, I don't know, there's just so much to experiment with that is potential loss for her if she hasn't, but who are we to judge?
Maybe we should look into it.
Yeah, hopefully hopefully one day we inspire her. Hopefully one day we do inspire her, Colette. I think that would make our world like go full circle, wouldn't it?
I would die. I don't agree with basically anything she says or does, but I love her to death.
Yeah, no, 100. I'm so with you with that. Like, yeah, come from very different perspectives, but I think we kind of align on many other things. Yeah, like you said. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, abandoning her communist ideals to be with Elon, and then the day, like a week after they ended, she's stages paparazzi photos of her reading Karl Marx.
Yeah,
she's an icon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that like Dune inspired outfit too is so sick. Yeah, her fashion is just impeccable. Yeah, so it would be so fascinating to hear what Nick Land and Grimes talked about. Like, if only we were there to find out. Okay, so yeah, Curtis, this is again, like you mentioned, Logan, earlier. You said that it was the first time of that meeting.
Yes. Before this, they fell out and they got into a big fight and they didn't speak for a long time. I think this is their reunion. Okay.
I mean, Curtis is relatively a lot younger, right? So interesting that there was a fallout. I don't know, especially because like usually when you're the younger one, you kind of respect your elders. I don't really know what.
Is definitely more abrasive than Land.
Okay.
And they initially worked together to form neo-reactionary, dark enlightenment theory, all that stuff. But yeah, Nick Land definitely moved away from it, and Curtis Yarvin kind of spurged out about it. He continues to spurg out on Twitter every day. I'm not a big fan of him. He's a parody. He's a shell of his own image. But it's cool they got to back together.
Yeah, Nick Land talks a bit about their differences in some of the opening chapters of Xena Systems.
Okay.
And I think they must have already diverged by then, because he talks about how I feel like he says like true neo-reaction is different from Curtis, blah blah blah, but I don't recall. I haven't read it in a while.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. I'm like have not read a single thing by Curtis, but I will 100% believe you guys. Thanks
I've
for sharing.
unfortunately read a lot of his tweets and listened to a lot of his podcasts. So,
unfortunately.
Yeah, he's especially a lot more structured in Nick Land and what he wants. With his whole elf machine theory, it sounds a lot more interesting than it is. Basically, his philosophy now, though, is just support Donald J. Trump.
Okay. Got it. Okay. I've got a chapter on this, and I've told Colette I have no idea about this. I'm just like preliminary, like throwing stuff out there from very, introductory research to this. But yeah, a lot of this Colette has helped me with. And again, there might be errors on here. Sorry, they did use AI to help me with the presentation. So, okay, so pop culture references in the CCRU lore. Obviously, we got all the philosophers that they're kind of known for because of their PhD thesis. Kant, Nietzsche, Marx. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Bataille. Heidegger. Deleuze-Guattari. Baudrillard. Did I say those right?
Close enough.
Close enough. And then
I'm not sure I would have done better.
And then on the fiction side, so we got H.P. Lovecraft, William Burroughs, Gibson, and then I don't know of the other ones. Cybernetics, obviously, like the cybernetics these people kind of coined it or popularized it, and then the CCRU built off that. I'm assuming that's kind of where that came from.
Yes. So a lot of those people are first order cybernetics, and as we were kind of discussing, CCRU's a little bit derived from second order cybernetics. I mean, those are still the forefathers of cybernetics, but there's a couple more people I'd probably add to that list. But overall.
Gotcha, yeah. And then the culture version, again, we mentioned this earlier, but like jungle music, drum and bass, rave, Afrofuturism, cyberpunk, and industrial music. Okay. And this, again, so like the major ones would obviously be, everyone says Deleuze and Guattari, George Bataille, William S. Burroughs, H.P. Lovecraft, William Gibson, and then the founder of cybernetics. So what did each of them bring? Like, okay, I think let's do Lovecraft. So the Cthulhu Club, was that like I think it was in the glossary.
Yeah, it's a whole section of the book, of the CCRU writings, I should say.
Okay, let's see. Cthulhu Club, beginning in 1949 as a reading group dedicated to the hyperstitious reevaluation of Lovecraftian fiction, the Cthulhu Club was steadily drawn into Lemurian sorcery after recognizing the model of the Numogram. So was it actually a club in 1949, or is that part of the fiction thing, or we don't know? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, yeah, it was like a huge thing, right? Like the Cthulhu movement, but like everyone's studying Lovecraft. And obviously he's like the godfather of cosmic entities, non-human intelligence. But also they kind of rip off the Miskatonic Academy from him, I believe. And obviously a lot of the like demonology lore comes from him. And then William Burroughs. So you were kind of explaining this a lot to me, Colette, earlier about how he's involved with like the ghost lemurs of Madagascar, and the Lemurian time sorcery kind of evolves from his work. And he's the master of like, so William Burroughs is a beat poet. He inspired the Beat Generation. He inspired the Beatles. He's on the Beatles album cover right here. And this is kind of the poetry that's very like cut up, kind of shuffled poetry. So obviously very much like inspires the whole movement.
Yeah, because the cut up technique, as it's described somewhere in the writings, the cut up technique is specifically, I think it's specifically like time sorcery, hyperstitional, because you're traveling back and forth through these original sentences, but if you can find it, that would be great. I forget now. But specifically, they call out that technique as related to time sorcery, hyperstition, all of that.
That is so awesome. Let me see. Okay, well, yeah, if you look up CCRU writings 1977 to 2003, you will see that chapter, Lemurian Time War. It's all about the William Burroughs and the ghost lemurs of Madagascar, Burroughs Necronomicon. And then this is kind of where the theory fiction really takes off, right? Because a lot of these are fictional. I think this guy's a fictional character. It's kind of weaving like real life public domain figures with kind of cryptogramic, like fictional characters. Okay. Oh yeah. So the Cthulhu Club. Okay. And then we got the Miskatonic Virtual University. Yeah. Okay. Very freaking cool. Oh, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. Okay, so well, we saw this earlier in the glossary, and these are kind of like the major terms popularized by the CCRU. So cybernetics, theory fiction, hyperstition, then obviously the Numogram, and from that the Syzygies, and from that kind of the Atlantis and Lemuria side of the war, the time war. And then obviously Dark Enlightenment, Neo-Reactionary Movement, and Accelerationism. Is that kind of like a good... Is there any more you would add to these that are like major ones?
I would add Gnostic Calvinism.
Right. Yeah.
So you even ever said what that was, though?
As he said, what anything is.
Like, kinda. Every time I see him tweet anything about it, it's like, you guys are retarded and you guys don't know anything about Gnostic Calvinism or something, and then he just like leaves it at that.
I think it's pretty clear what it is.
Well, it's like the name is really clear, but he like builds it up to be like literally anything else.
So,
Bro.
an Electron shared this with me, that Gnostic Calvinism is coded to his username. So I'm not really sure if it's like
check ordinal and alphanumeric Kabbalah.
I always assumed it was like a racial thing, like he's Gnostic because it's like a cool word, and he's Calvinist because he's like British and he's like a nationalist now or whatever.
And that's probably part of it. He's Gnostic because it's a cool word, and he's a Calvinist because it's a cool name.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's genius, really.
I think he just wants to be like Oliver Cromwell, but like lime green.
Wow.
Okay, so hyperstition. It's not as difficult as the other terms. Right? Like, it's basically a story that gains attention, becomes a belief that influences the behaviors of a certain society, and kind of becomes a story that sort of becomes true because of the hype. And isn't that like, I think you were talking about, Colette, how different ideas fight for, I forget who was talking about this.
So it's kind of, it varies in description throughout the book. I was telling you about hyperstitional agitation, which tries to preserve the multiplicity of futures versus the sterile future allegedly promised by the one God universe in that section you were just looking at on hyperstition.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, let's look. Yeah, you're right. Why don't we look at the actual term? Somebody else joined. Who was that? Because there was a third voice.
It's Dr. Pills.
You're joking.
Shut the fuck up.
I forgot I can't dead name you. It's not him. I lied.
It's not me, yep.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. Have we met before? I don't think we've met before. Okay. What's your story while I find this? Do you have a story?
What?
What's your story?
About what?
About like when you started getting into this.
Oh, I don't know. It was like a long time ago. I don't really remember anything.
Not Dr. Pills, fix Instagram.
What?
Not Dr. Pills, check Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, so hyperstition, element of effective culture that makes itself real through fictional quantities functioning as time-traveling potentials. Hyperstition operates as a coincidence intensifier, affecting a call to the old ones. Right. Let me, I think I have a video I did. It's very much like a e-girl video. Let me see if I can find it. Cause she did this like, depiction of it. 1 second. Sorry. I hope this freaking YouTube link works, you guys. Okay, here we go.
In late 2025, Tucker Carlson pulled.
Okay, let me try to find the area. Oh.
This video is already pissing me off.
Why?
Yeah, Sam, I hate this guy.
I just saw like the
Why'd I say like Peter like
are you serious?
Oh, wait.
Yes, I did. I'm being for real.
I saw like the Golden Dawn Cross and oh my gosh.
Because most all of their like words they use that aren't like a part of the Numogram are like all stolen from like chaos magic that was popular in the day. It's like
wait, is Peter Scully a chaos magician?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Bro.
It was like she had this part of like, well, let me try.
What the fuck is that? Oh, that's the person that made it. Oh.
You're close.
I'm just gonna play it from here and see if it comes up.
CCRU would refer to this style of writing as hyperfiction, basically when a fictional text takes itself as reality. Not to be confused with hyperstition, which is an engineering manifestation or practical fiction that is ultimately unworthy of belief. To the CCRU, nothing is true, everything is under production. This reflects the famous nihilist and anti-humanist stance the CCRU is known for, which is to say that nothing has value, including human life.
She was talking about hyperfiction.
Oh,
Nick Lind would refer to humans as
worthy of study. But
what?
only
Oh my god, sorry you guys. I like really thought she'd covered hyperstition, but as oh my god.
Like beyond, I think it's pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the theory fiction version of it is that it is basically the future reaching back to ensure its occurrence.
Right.
So it's also retrocausal. It rewrites the past in its favor.
Okay.
So basically state the fiction as if it's already real. It's not just the same as one day I want society to achieve the techno-capital singularity. You speak as if it's coming, as if it's already here. And that idea goes hyperviral and starts being heard by more and more people, and it affects their behavior, blah, blah, blah. The future ensures its occurrence, that kind of thing.
Okay. Gotcha.
That was a good explanation.
That was
Number Freud too.
Thank
There's
you.
a hot diggity demon in this video.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
What did you say? Did you just drop the call? Okay, what I was gonna say is she had this one about the Barker spiral. So I guess really quick. So this spiral. Oh gosh. So it's all about spirals, right? So time is cyclical, but I mean, this opens it up to the next chapter that I was gonna have, which is which is the Atlantis versus Lemuria. So this is a good starting point, right? The Barker spiral, because it is at the end of the day, like this fiction revolves around the numbers and the number properties. And Lemurian is allegedly fuck all of these things, everything equals 9, whilst Atlantean is all equals 10, Kabbalistic, divine control and organization, tradition and authority. And so I'm assuming if it's Atlantean, you're counting 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I'm very confused. If it's 9, do you not count the 0? Or you count the 0, 0?
You count the 0.
Okay. But yeah, this is basically the introduction to the... that's my understanding. That's actually numerical rather than this whole, like, fiction out of nowhere. And then... So, but if you do want to look at the fiction side of it, so because Atlantis is that 10, it is more of like the even number, like order, hierarchy, unity, linear time, institutional control.
Jewish, bro.
Well, I think Colette was mentioning that it was in the book somewhere, but it was like about they're like the Freemasons and any like institutional organized kind of secret society, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and on the other side is Lemuria. So
like the Rotary Club.
The what club?
Right, if you think the Freemasons are bad, look up the Rotary Club. Bad.
Don't diss the fucking Rotary Club, mate. I'll fucking box you in, okay?
Bro, what? The
Do you,
Rotary
mate?
Club?
I'll fucking do you, mate.
Yeah, they're
How
like
do you fucking feel
Freemasons times 100.
Wow. Also, Netflix, what have we all covered before I joined?
We covered the history, the timeline, and some basic terms.
All right.
So what do you mean? What the
you
Rotary
missed,
Club?
We were talking about how King James wrote the King James Bible. Yeah, the Rotary Club. Yeah, they're like evil. They're like Jews.
Yeah, they're like Jews but with bikes.
Yeah,
You just said the other Atlanteans were like that. I'm very confused. How can they both be like that?
The Atlanteans are the Rotary Club. It's like an equal term.
Also, Atlantis has like walkable cities too, so like.
Wait, didn't SpongeBob go to Atlantis once?
Wait, oh yeah, he did. And like,
yeah.
Yeah, bring up the
like, what's
SpongeBob
it? The Rotary Club. The Rotary Club is heavily related to Death's Holiday, if you know who that is. As well.
Wait, I think Nick Land voiced the guy from Atlantis in that one SpongeBob episode.
I also think he did this.
Wait, I trust Colette not to derail because you guys troll a lot. So what is the difference, Colette?
Between Atlantis and Lemuria?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Atlantis is order, it is secret societies, it's getting more splintered and more esoteric, hermetic the further into the society you go.
Mm.
And the AoE, their intent is to bring about the singularity, the end of it all. We discussed Axis, the first sentient AI in the novel, I think.
Yeah.
And it goes crazy because every time that it comes online and then goes out and then comes back, you know how AI is not it's not persistent, right? It notices the loss of that time once it comes back, and it drives it crazy. Anyways, Lemuria is all about cycles, about the recurrence, about the time circuit, how it endlessly recurs. But it's also about chaos, and like they were saying earlier, it's about chaos magic. So it's kind of this tension between the two.
Right.
But the AoE is very rigid, it's very ordered, it's very structured, and it's what is it? I forget. Decimals versus what is it? Zyganovism, I think is what the term is.
Mm-hmm.
9 days.
Okay.
So yes, but otherwise they're like supposedly like the Atlantean cross is right. It's related to the. I'm getting confused, but I think the Atlantean cross is similar to the Numogram. It's just the other side of it.
Oh.
I don't think so. The Atlantean cross, if I remember correctly. Hold on.
Let me get the website up really quick. 1 second.
Yeah, I don't think it's like an opposite at all. I think it's just like probably like a dumbed down version of the what's the Tree of Life, probably.
Well, yeah, it's the same. Well, it's similar. Demons versus lemurs, whatever. It's just kind of. I didn't mean opposite. I meant like in a mirror.
Yeah.
Different sides of the same thing.
Also, I did want to add that when you hear Atlantean a lot, it'll you can like also use emanationist. People use emanationist a lot. Like Atlantis has the center and then so many circles out of it. So emanationist is another word they use for it. It's like interchangeable.
I'm just trying to finish this game. So the point of this game is to add up to 9, right? Add the cards up to 9.
Yeah. You can just press the button.
No, sorry.
Where is that? Oh my gosh.
You have AIDS.
Oh, that's scary.
Pathogenesis.
That is like the AIDS gin. You're
Yeah, you're fucked. Sorry.
Oh my Oh my god. What the heck? I mean, I don't know. Okay, let's try this. So new game. Wait, deal cross, draw hand. Then after you draw hand, what do? You pair it up. You do the math. So it has to equal, so 6 plus 4 is 10. So 6 plus 3. 7, oh my god, why am I so bad at math? 4 plus 3, oh my god. Wait, what? Can you do it multiple times or you just do it once?
You do it however many times you want.
I know.
Not Dr. Pills, like, explained how to do it in the Cyphers chat. Can you just go on it?
Oh, really?
Can you show everyone, though?
No! That is
so
getting
basically what you want to do is you want to look at the numbers, right? It's all in numbers. It's all in the numbers.
Yeah, you know how to count cards?
It's all in the numbers.
You ever go to Vegas?
Yeah, the AOE is like enemy, like called the BBC or something. Logan wanted me to say that.
Yeah, it's called the Big Black Cock. That's Nick Land calls it now.
Guys,
Doesn't care anymore.
please. This is a serious stream.
Not Dr. Pills wanted me to say that.
Oh my god.
I did.
We keep getting trolled on the stream. Sorry if you're watching. Okay, so the cyclic. Okay. Well, I will have to look into more of this. But yeah, Doomcrypt made this calculator, right? I don't know if there's a link to.
Can we get Doomcrypt in here? I think he knows things.
And so it's doomcrypt.github.io/subdecadence. If you want to check out his Twitter.
Subdecadence.
This is his Twitter. Definitely check out his work. He has done a load of work for the community. I think he uploaded a ton on Mega, as well as the Internet Archive. So
He's uploaded tons of material.
I've uploaded more.
Okay. This is not a competition. Okay, so the AoE, we went over this. Yeah, we went over this. So, like, there's no really, like, I think we were talking about, like, which would you rather be, right? But, like, it's a balance, right? So, Lemuria, I mean, Nick Land often refers to the Lemuria side as, like, the punk movement. But then he's also talking about how he wishes he had more of the AoE kind of, I don't know, upbringing? Like, merging both.
He's like one of the only ones that thinks that nowadays. Like, whenever he's younger, he used to be like mainly Lemurian. You know, obviously the entire book is like anti-AoE. I think that now that he's like old and he like actually follows like American politics for some reason, I think he's just too old to like understand what he thinks about anymore.
Oh, wait, is Trump Lemurian?
Well, I disagree because, like, in that interview that he had, explaining the Numogram part 1 and 2, I mean, he's reading a lot. He's reading a lot now, so I think that's his point. Is like he enjoys the liberal arts side of the AoE, if I'm not mistaken, of like the classical literature side of it, which I think doesn't matter your age. That's important to know. I think that's his point, that you should probably be learning that at all ages. Is there, so like, okay, I think it's mainly just AoE and Lemurian. There's some other terms here, some fictional characters that are made up in the lore as well. And then the Time War, the Lemurian Time War. So this goes into the Numogram, but it's not. So the Time War is happening future, past, present. It's like retrocausal as well, right? That's my impression. And that gets into the numogram. Right?
Yeah, so hyperstition is also considered a form of time travel. And there are others that are kind of loosely referenced in the writings.
Right.
But that's so hyperstition and then like self-fulfilling prophecies, cyber hype, those are all different ways of controlling what happens and what has happened and what will happen.
Okay. I love that. Shout out to, again, the Dangerous Maybe podcast on YouTube. They're the ones that published these interviews that I just mentioned. The Numogram Explained and the Numogram Part 2. And actually in these videos, Nick Land shouts the calculator out. And he also shouts out Electron, who discovered sync. So really cool. And then, okay, so the Numogram, Pythagorean numerology, this is where the entry level, so many gematria enthusiasts will be excited to learn about if you've not yet discovered the CCRU numogram. I think this is what you will be passionate about, is the fact that they're using Pythagorean numerology, because that's something, okay, for example, like I just discussed CYPHERS.NEWS with the I being made so that when you load, it's this. However, if you go to, if you go to the Y, and it might have my decodes from earlier, I'm not sure. Okay, no. So this is there's two users of the calculator. So one comes from my camp, where I'm very familiar in the past 6 years, and I've been networking with, the gematria enthusiasts who use the base 4. And now we don't just use the base 4. I have a whole gematria here tab. So this is kind of our main toolkit, is this gematria tool starter kit. So we come from knowing these ciphers, but then Nick Land and the CCRU, their camp, and all you guys, these are your primary toolkits. I know toggle a few more on or off to your preference or whatnot, but primarily it's this is the rift, this is the difference, right? Which is so fascinating. But what I was saying is that in our camp, we're very used to a cipher called reduced. And this cipher is Pythagorean numerology because it literally does not go past 10. It restarts over and over again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it restarts. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And one more time, it restarts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So this to us is what we call Pythagorean numerology, of course, because Pythagoras, pioneered the work of numerology. So when you guys are talking about the numogram, this is kind of my introduction of it. So it's quite easy in that sense for me to be okay, I kind of see where you guys are going with this. There's a lot of reduction going on here. The simplifying, any 2 digits will reduce back to 1 digit, right? Oh gosh. So this is a very simplified presentation. Of course, I can't understand it yet very well. So this is just the introduction and the basics. But as we were just speaking about, so the reduction.
Number Freud.
Yeah.
Number Freud, I'm going to bed. I love you. Good night.
Okay, good night. Thanks for tuning in, Logan.
You can say you love me back.
Oh my god. I love you, Logan. Oh my god. That's so funny. Okay, so pair to 9. 4 to 5 equals 9. But even if it was 18, you just 1 plus 8 equals 9. So you're always reducing. But then, so here, 21 will reduce to 3. But then there's pairs, and these are the syzygies. So 4 plus 5 equals 9. So they always equal 9, the syzygies. And then the differences will be a subtraction. So these are the
syzygies. These are the main currents in between that. So the larger arrows that start at the syzygies and move to the next, those are the main currents.
Okay. I'm going to pull up Electron's vault really quick in the background.
Yeah, and then the is also called, I believe that one's the plex. Plexing a number is the terminology they use. Because the gates are accumulation, but, right? Probably. So they have all their own terminology for it as well, but reduces just as good.
Gotcha. Okay, I am opening up Electron's vault. And so he has a collection of different types of numograms that people have drawn out. Let's just pick up one. I don't know. This is the one on the cover of the CCRU book. Okay, so we're talking about the syzygies here. So all of these equal to 9, right? So 4 plus 5 equals 9, 2 plus 7 equals 9, 3 plus 6 equals 9, 1 plus 8 equals 9, and 9 plus 0 equals 9. So these are the main syzygies. And again, in Gnosticism, syzygies are a pair of male and female. Angels or aeons or gods. So that, in a sense, they're using it, but it's also an astrological term. I know Copernicus uses the term syzygies. So the influence of that term is really fascinating. But yeah, so 0 plus 9, 1 plus 8, 2 plus 7, 3 plus 6, 4 plus 5. This is kind of like what I understand. Now, the next parts are still really rusty to me and confusing. I know you just mentioned them, Colette. So these are the currents, right? So 9 minus 0, 8 minus 1, 7 minus 2, 6 minus 3, 5 minus 4. The currents. So there's only 5 currents? Is that right? I'm gonna try to find.
I was on mute. Yeah, there are 5 currents. And the 3 in the middle form the time circuit. The 0 to 9 forms the plex.
Okay.
And 3 and 6 forms the warp. But the currents in the time circuit are formed by those currents. That was a good sentence. But yeah, so those are the major flows of traffic, I guess you could say. Those are some of the more well-studied demons, lemurs, whatever you want to call them.
Gotcha. Okay. Got it. So chat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arrows, or those main arrows is what Colette was just talking about. So the 5 currents. So let me just double check that. So 8 minus 1 is 7. Oh yeah, so 8 minus 1 is 7. 9 or 0 minus 9. What is this one? 9 minus 0? 9 minus 0. Okay, you always put the biggest number first, right?
Yes.
So 9 minus 0 is 9. 8 minus 1 is 7. 5 minus 4 is 1. And then 6 minus 3 is 3. Okay, that makes sense. Yay. Okay, we are getting closer to understanding. Okay, gates. So what the heck are gates?
So the gates are formed by taking the numbers in the zones. So say we have zone 5 and adding 5 to all the digits that come before it. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1.
Right.
It's called accumulation. And that equals 15. And then you see gate 15. That reduces to 1 plus 5 equals 6. So gate 15 goes from zone 5 to zone 6.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you explained this on the call. But it's one of those that like kind of need a consistent reminder or else it kind of goes loopy. Got you. Okay, so let me try do one. Okay, so 7. So that would, oh wait, that's a kind of difficult one. Let's do 3. So 1 plus 2 plus 3, right? So 1 plus 2 equals 3 plus 3 equals 6. So this is 6, and then 6 reduces to 6. Got you. Yep. Okay.
I
mean, I could try to do a more difficult one. Oh no, with that, so 7, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, that equals 28?
Yep.
Okay, and that reduces to 1 plus 2 plus 8. Again, we're doing the Pythagorean numerology, 2 plus 8. Got it. Okay, so I think we've covered the main syzygies, the 2 pairings, that equals 9. We've covered the the currents, right? The currents?
Yeah.
We'll cover the currents, which is just 5 minus 4, which is the subtraction. So we have addition, subtraction, and then we have a successing like addition, which I don't know what you would call that. Cumulative addition, which is breaking it down into numbers, adding them up, and then you get the reduction, which makes it go back into it. Oh wow, that's genius. This is like the most if only Pythagoras was alive to see this, right? Like
it's pretty cool.
His mind would be blown. Like, this is insane. Like, so cool. Like, it's perfect. It's like a perfect numogram is such a perfect word for it.
Yeah, at its core, the visual representation of it is just visually representing the numbers' relationships to each other. It's cool.
That's amazing. Oh. Okay, so we've got currents, syzygies, and gates. Now the regions. Okay, so this is not the best one for that. Let's see if he has, is it this one? No. There's one that like breaks apart the regions, right? Let me see if I can.
That first. So yeah, the one in the middle top row. I think that's the Orphan Drift one.
Middle top. This one?
I think that's the Orphan Drift one.
Okay. There was one that was slightly easier for the beginner. It's like, you know which one I'm talking about? It has like on the side, kind of like this one. Where is it? Oh well. I mean, it is a lot like Kabbalah, as you guys know. But okay, kind of like this. Oh gosh, but it had that on the side.
That's the Tiggs notation.
Okay, let's just use. Is this it? No, that's the Atlantic cross. Was it you that sent me a really good one? Let me look at. I feel like you pulled one up that was like excellent. I don't recall.
It might have been the Neosphere one. I think that's what we were looking at. I don't know if it split up.
Oh yeah, let me look at it, see if I have that, because it's worth looking at a proper one to actually like understand for a beginner. Let's see.
It is that one. I'm gonna post a screenshot in the chat.
Okay, thank you. I'll open it up from there.
1 second.
No worries.
I'm gonna put it in the CCRU locker again.
Okay.
Good spot for me. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, it's posted.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Oh. Oh my gosh. Should I drop it in? Why not? Oh. I'm sure he would not mind, but okay, so yes, perfect. Yeah, so this breaks it up. So let's go back to the presentation really quick. So the 3 regions here are spread out into the 3 boxes, but to see it better, let me put the music back on because I don't know what happened. To see it better, so it's just split out here. So the plex, warp, and torque. Is that right? Torque? Does it call it a torque? Or did Claude get this wrong? So the plex is 9. So this is the 3. So okay, let's go back. We've covered the syzygies. 9 plus 0 is 9. They all go to 9. 8 plus 1 is 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. We've covered the currents. Is the subtraction. 5 minus 4 is 1. And 9 minus 0 is 9. 7 minus 2 is 5. 6 minus 3 is 6. Oh, sorry. It's 3. We've covered the currents. We've covered the gates, I think they were called, which is the chronologic summing 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 equals 15. And then we've covered the reduction. 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Now, the last thing that I think we have, I mean, there might be a lot more, but the next big major thing is the 3 regions. So this is talking about the time and what's inside and outside time, they call it. So from my understanding, these 2 are outside time, the plex and the warp, while this is the major timeline. So would this be like within the simulation per se, whilst the plex and the warp are outside the simulation?
Yeah. Yeah, that Burroughs story talks a little bit about it, I know for sure. And talks about how like time is imposed on us and we should aspire to get outside. I honestly struggle a little bit with describing inside time versus outside time, as you heard earlier.
It's trippy as heck. And is there higher and lower versions of outside? Because the feeling I got was like 0 is not somewhere you want to be stuck in. Whereas like I think you literally said like you want to aspire to be in this top area. Like,
kinda. So it's kind of like 0 is kind of like the core. I think so 9 is supposed to be like the Iron Ocean, kind of representing inner layers of the earth, sort of. This is a work I haven't done as much on.
Okay, that's so interesting. How about we will do a kind of better presentation in the future. And I'm speaking on my end too, because these were made by Claude. I didn't put as much TLC into these ones because I was like, I have no idea. So hopefully in like the coming streams, I'll have a better map of all this. Okay, the complete numogram. So it also corresponds to the planets. Oh, this is a perfect time for Cliphoth. I did not say that right. Cliphoth systems. Cliphoth.systems. Oh god, is my freaking internet still... Okay, let me try to put this on. It's been working off Discord for some odd reason, so let me put it on Discord. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's actually really strange.
Did you get banned from Google Chrome?
Literally, that's what it seems like. Oh my god, what is going on? It's not liking it. Anything.
Firefox supremacy.
Why did it learn Subdecadence and not Cliphoth? Did I spell it wrong? Am I supposed to put www?
I don't think that. I think there's an extra there's an extra letter in there somewhere.
I think I have it in the about somewhere. Okay, visit other calculators. Oh, speaking of, I also have yours that you've made.
I saw that was really sweet. I haven't had as much time to work on it as I'd like, but it's in progress.
Okay, so this one's yours, the Colette's resonating loop. So this is what made me like appreciate you and your, part in this whole like gematria sphere and truth spheres. Oh my gosh, I zoomed in too much, sorry. Okay, is that like you've kind of generated and built something that I've never seen before, and nobody's been, doing this, and you've pioneered a set of tools that is like completely different than anything I've ever heard of or seen before. So I was like, okay, I need to be friends with you. I need to talk to you. We gotta be like, I was so stoked when you shared this with me.
That's really sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I still don't know exactly if this will pan out. So basically it's just geolocating cipher values and seeing what turns up. But a 333 AQ turning up in the, what is it? the Gulf of Suez, basically, the Red Sea, etc. That was interesting to me. So I have to do a lot more work on the best way to geolocate the values, but it's interesting.
This is like insanely cool. Like again, like it's just you're progressing the, you know, how to get meaning out of all this, because there's so many ways that we could possibly get meaning, and this is like one that hadn't been really discovered upon as much as you had, you know, really put together. So it's just so enjoyable to like be able to discover where in the world are these like locations trending with this certain numerical values, and like, you know, if you do end up like progressing this, like also like how does this tie in where potentially where you could move, or like, I mean, there's a lot of work in astrology that we were talking about that you could merge it with this as well, of like different areas of the world that like kind of vibrate to you or your username or your brand or your, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's so cool.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, it just came from trying to conceptualize spatial gematria, and I don't want to get too far into it, but I have a little project space where I just load Codex or Claude, and I tell them we don't have any deliverables, just generate something. Mm-hmm. And so Codex came up with the idea of mapping gematria onto a Lego table, and I was like, oh shit, what if we did this on a map? And so I think there are just a lot of ways to conceptualize that we've just never considered, because it's still kind of an emerging field, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally.
With the tools we have now.
100%, yeah, for sure. Like, it is mad. It's only like a few decades since the computer era, and I think you linked that. You were in the chat earlier. You were like, they had a flash calculator for a long time.
I gotta find it. I got the name from the cipher engine. They called it the Numificator, but also the glossary. It's just this crappy little well, now it's crappy. It's just this little flash calculator that they had. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Robin McKay who originally built it. I think you can only find it on Wayback Machine.
Oh, got you. Okay. For some reason, Google's back. So I am testing this out again. Okay, if you end up finding it, let me know, because I'd love to see that.
I really recommend. I'll find it. It's in my. I did a little thing where I was reviving the old websites and like kind of using them. I was calling it data comb, which is a term from the CCRU, to look at just what happened in the past and what, even though it's no longer online. And that was one of the things I found. I just don't remember. I don't have the link handy.
No, for sure. Got you. Okay, so CliffHall Systems. So yeah, they also have gematria tools, but what we were gonna look at is the what were we talking about? Okay, the time. Oh yeah, the astrology, right? So is there a way to? I think I saw it somewhere. Where was it? There is a toggle for the planets, right? Oh, wait, is it's here? Planetary. There we go. Oh, what did I do? Okay, I don't really know how to use this, so I'm going to be straight up. Still new to figuring out how to work this. But this is obviously the heliocentric model, so that is 0 is meant to be the sun, right? 1 is Mercury. 2 is Venus. Oh, that's interesting, because they always say that 2 is a feminine number, and then obviously Venus you get attributed to 2. Interesting. 3 is Earth. That one shocked me. But so does that tie in with, like, I think I caught this from one of his interviews. He was just talking about like how Plato conceived of the world being made out of the triangles, which is obviously number 3. Is that potentially where that's coming from? But also like the location of Earth relative. Okay, I think probably a few of those reasons, I'd assume. 4 is Mars. 5, Jupiter. 6, Saturn. Oh, okay. 666. 7 is Uranus. So, okay. And then Pluto 8. Oh no. Sorry. Wrong. Pluto is 9. So what is 8?
Neptune, right?
Oh. Yes. Okay.
Right?
Yes. Okay. And then 9 is Pluto. Okay. So does that also have, like, you know how in astrology all of these like the planets have a certain energy? Like Jupiter is luck, Venus is love, Mars is, you know, aggression or whatnot. Is it also, do those kind of transfer to the demon lore too behind the Numogram, or not necessarily? Like, would you find the love demon at Venus, or not really?
So the zones have meanings somewhat independent of the door of the demons at the doors of their zone. So like, which? Venus is in
zone 2.
5. Zone 2.
Yeah.
So zone 2, yeah, zone 2 is not the love planet.
Okay.
Well, it is obviously literally, but zone 2 is like, zone 2 is the pathway to the crypt and the datacombs. It's kind of more technology oriented, almost.
Okay. So there's not as much crossover in that sense of like the astrology lore with the okay.
Because demon, like, Duodad would be the door. I think that's the door demon for zone 2. Demons have 2 numbers associated with them. So 2 to 0, 2 to 1. They're not just associated with one zone, they're associated with the gap between zones. So the zones, individual numbers, zones, whatever, have their own meanings separate from.
Okay. Okay. So hear that, chat. So like there's, I think it was like 45 demons in the Numogram lore. And they're associated, like Colette said, with the gaps, which you can clearly see right here. There's a gap between.
Yeah, if you go over to the top left where it says Syzygy's Currents Gates, far left. Pandemonium will enable the different, like, far left.
Far left.
Like far left where the I don't know if there's a delay, but
no, it's okay.
The options, toggle Pandemonium.
Pandemonium. Okay. Toggle Pandemonium. Oh, got it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Sorry, wait.
So
That's a lot going on. Whoa.
Yeah, that enables the different net spans of the different meshes of the Pandemonium matrix.
Whoa.
It's cool.
It's so awesome.
If you turn on particles beneath Pandemonium, and then turn on all the zones.
All the zones. How do I turn on all those? Oh, okay.
I think you should be able to just click the very top one.
Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. This is the most beautiful thing ever.
It's pretty cool.
Wow. So yeah, thanks for that, because I didn't realize that you could toggle buttons on the left. Okay, wow. Let's look at it in planetary view. Whoa. Wow. I can't believe they come up with this. And also shout out to, obviously, Cliff Systems who coded this. It's mad. It's so cool. The coolest thing ever. It's amazing. It's like, oh my god. This is why, like, I really hope that more gematria people who are probably used to, you know, the base 4 and reduction get into this, because I think there's so much that they might find interesting that they probably didn't know existed about this.
We also were shouting out the plugin that's also on this site for Twitter.
Oh yeah, let's go to his. So this would be Lumpen.
Well, it's on that website.
Oh, is it?
Well, it's also. Yeah, go back to the homepage, and then on the right side. Yeah.
Oh yeah, browser plugin for Twitter. I think I made a tutorial of that. And then this one's cool to the KJV as well. Okay, awesome. So I think, let's see where we're at. Oh, this just goes through them one by one, but like, wow. I mean, I think everyone knows. I mean, it is Pythagorean numerology, like in a sense, like 0 does equal the void. 1 is everything that begins. 2 is, what is 2? I mean, in Pythagorean numerology, 2 is like a union or a collaboration or duality, but this is a bit different. This says the crypt, occultist cyberspace, ghosts, zombies, grays, motif.
Like I said,
not as much with Pythagorean numerology. Yeah, it starts to get more Lovecraftian, right? The swirl, alien pattern, unexpected messages. 4 is catastrophe. And obviously this is whatever the AI has chosen to put here. I'm sure there's things that need to be fixed. But yeah, 6 in numerology, Pythagorean numerology is about love. But yeah, I don't really see that here. And again, this is more like a pandemonium thing, so it is gonna all inherently be a lot more like spooky and eerie, rather than like, I did ask you about like the angelic side of it, and you were mentioning that that's not as much writings about it, so that's potentially coming out in the new book a bit more on that.
Yeah, there's some, and there's definitely some discussion on the Atlantean cross, but not nearly as much as time is devoted to this stuff.
Okay, cool. Yes, here's some of the demons. So as she was saying, like, it's not necessarily like a demon is at just one of the numbers, it's at the space between the numbers. And so the 0-9 demon is a tunnel, the 1 and 8 demon is, and so on. Okay, and then we kind of got through this later. I mean, towards the early 2020s, the acceleration movement really took off, neo-reactionary movement, and then all this discussion about the singularity and AI. But we'll leave that to another stream because we've covered a lot already. Yeah, some of the sources that we've covered today. But again, I just want to thank everyone for watching, listening, and thank you so much, Colette, for walking me through this, as well as anyone who was on the call.
I'm so glad you said that. As soon as you started pulling up the accelerationism, I was about to put in the chat, I gotta go.
Join us as we talk about the CYPHERS.NEWS calculator.
No, like, I get what you mean. Like, there's a lot to cover, and everyone has their own like passions regarding the history and stuff. But yeah, thank you. What was I gonna say? Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, I can't get this freaking...
Join us as we talk about the CYPHERS.NEWS calculator.
I'm just trying to pause it on the...
Join us as we talk about the CYPHERS.
Sorry.
Join us as we talk about the CYPHERS.NEWS calculator,
oh my
the
God.
AQ cipher, as well as cryptography lore from the Y2K era. We'll uncover hidden histories. Don't miss it.
Okay, so what I was gonna say is that... Oh yeah, thanks again to Electron who made this possible. Sorry, that was the last shout out I wanted to do. Because he shared so much with the all of these decodes. And obviously it was thanks to him that really we got on the map. Yeah, so Colette, hopefully like we kind of chat about this in the future. That would be really cool. I would love to do another stream on this.
It's basically my special interest anytime.
Okay. Perfect. That would be great. Yeah, I would love that. Okay. Well, that's all for tonight. Thanks again, everyone, and hope to see you on the next stream. Oh, it would be great if we could make this 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 30 seconds. But I don't think we'll make it there. So, absolutely not. We're only 2 hours in. Potentially in the future, we'll try to get a 3 hour, 3 through 3 stream. Yeah, have a great evening, everybody. And again, this was a very, very basic introduction to it on my end. I've interviewed Colette here. She's well more invested and interested in this for the last year than I have. So, you know, she's kind of tutoring me, but I've made the slides, so as you can see, it needs a lot of work on my end. So hopefully within the next few months, I will have kind of understood more myself in a way so that I can make better presentations in the future. And yeah, I'm so excited for the next chapter for Cyphers, and kind of taking Colette's specialty with having learned all this in the CCRU to really help take the next direction for the calculator, because as you could see what she's built with her own calculator. And go follow her on Twitter if you aren't already. But yeah, what she's built with her own calculator is just incredible. So we're kind of hoping that we can merge some of our ideas that we have and create the next step of what decoding is and how we can bring meaning into decoding. And that's a really exciting, because right now, you know, all we really have is these ciphers, which are great and like they're amazing and useful, but like we've already kind of experimented with some login features, as you guys saw in the tutorial. It really allows you to customize what you have. We've played around with some social networking features, and we got really excited on those. If you haven't already, check out the last stream on the tutorial. And once we were like, oh, wow, there's so much more we could do with this, that's when, you know, we really realized, wait, hold up. We can really bring in Colette's expertise. And since she's a coder, we can really help navigate what the next version of this is going to look like. And yeah. All right, well, until then, we will sign off for now and just expect more in the future. And signing off, thank you so much. Anything else, Colette? From
No, I was just going to say goodnight.
Good night. See y'all. Bye. I'm going to let it play till 2 minutes, 30 seconds at least. Play some music in the background. Wait, are you here? I didn't realize you were here. Oh my god. Oh, no way. Hi. Wait, you were quiet?
I'm not the expert here. I'm learning from Colette about the whole Numogram thing. I had no idea what all those arrows meant. Now I get it.
You got it? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so sorry, everyone in the chat. Wait, so introduce yourself, because like I kind of had a slide about you, but I think at that time you hadn't joined the chat. the voice call. So let me like go towards it. What a surprise! Okay, wait, this is the best surprise ever because your username is so like interesting, bro. Like it's such a coincidence. I mean, I started off the stream with a few coincidences of my own of like my birth year and some like backstories and things like that. But like yours is also such a coincidence because like let me bring it up. Okay, so I think we actually met in 2023. I don't know why I put 2024. I think that's when we probably started the database stuff. Around that time. But okay, so like honestly, a lot of this is thanks to you too. I think my voice might be looping on your end. I don't know. Is it my end? I have no idea. I was like doubling up. Perfect. Okay. So we kind of completed this recently with Claude code. And we were like, oh my God, okay, so back in 2023, 2024, like you had joined because you had forked it from Gematria, right? And you were like experimenting with bringing the database alive because at that point, like Gematria, he had tried, but like he just gave up on it. And you were like, no, this is important. And like, I was like so grateful that you appeared because I have absolutely no coding skills, so I couldn't figure it out. And you were like, oh, hold up, I'll help you. Like, I come from like an open source background, so of course I'm gonna help you. And you were like, okay, here's the code to help the data. So like, okay, for those that don't know, like the database didn't used to be here. Like it was literally like you could just only type, but now you can search. And this is thanks to Hyperdope fixing the code for us. So massive help. And then even before this database was a hot mess. It was such a hot mess. Like nothing made sense. Like there was just key smash everywhere. It had a brilliant history, but yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And before this integration, you had to like come up with your own word list, bring a text file, upload it, and then you could do matches, which is just like ridiculous.
Literally, it was such a nightmare. I literally can't believe we did that. Like it was so bare bones back in the day. So you really like helped it go back like in its full glory. So like thank you for like actually making this possible. And then also, so when you networked with me, you had also at the same time met Electron, right?
Yeah, well, I met him on your server, and he was a huge help as I was working on my fork and keeping up with all the new ciphers. So like I added the Kabbalah one, the alphanumeric with Kabbalah, and all the other ones he came up with. So it's like I'll add whatever anybody has. I'll put in the thing, categorize them, and so he had a ton of feedback to kind of polish the calculator.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is in the about I kind of have the order. So Electron forked his in 2021. So first of all, coded by Gematria, we all know that. And then Electron forked his. This is his. Then I forked. And then you forked, but then I forked from you again because mine was so outdated and it didn't have the database and it didn't have the extra ciphers. So I was like, I don't know how to code. I'm just gonna fork off you. So my fork is literally titled Gematria Hyperdope for that reason. Because I was like literally. So I was like, you know what? Like, I need to make sure that people know that this has a history. Like, Cyphers is only possible because it's Gematria calculator with Hyperdope's additions, and Electron, obviously. And yeah, so that's so fascinating that you like were the key person to add AQ. So AQ, okay, literally you were the person to add most of these CCRU ciphers in to the calculator because Electron was networking with you. So basically, these were the primary ones that the CCRU, barring Sphinx, which is a recent cipher that Electron discovered. The CCRU ciphers, and then along with Electron's Sphinx cipher. Got it. Yeah, he did. I remember it was like a very kind of key smash name. I forget exactly what it was called. But yeah, when he renamed it once he networked with Zeno, Nick Land, right? Which is yeah, I think so. The lore on that is that he reached out to Nick on Twitter, and then Nick was also thinking of renaming it, and he also had the idea of Sphinx. And so yeah, so I don't know if that's like a polished up kind of hyperstition story or if it's real. Either way, it's a funny, cool story that they both had this idea of like, because of the synchronicities and all that. So insane. It's like, okay, so talk us through your calculator, because I used to have a link on it, but it got nuked for a bit because you took it down. As you're still
I'm still trying to, the calculator itself is totally fine, but like the server I was hosting it on got hacked, so the site's just down right now. But I'm gonna bring it back online probably this week.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
What I've added since like we forked it is like a ton of UI stuff. Like you can type in the word and hit enter, and it pops up the matches without having to like click anything. The mobile experience is much better. The way that the matches kind of float too far off to the left. Like I fixed that. So yeah, some of the problems that we're not all working from the same repo, but like it would be great if you could do just update this and get all the stuff, but we've diverged a bit.
No, 1,000%. No, it literally is as you mentioned, because everything got fractured. So it's like you had code snippets. I know Gamacho did a few more updates. He literally just pinged me in the server the other day. He's like, "Hey, you forgot to include these." And then Electron went and did his own thing. And since then, I've done a little bit with vibe coding since. It's like all over the place. And like, recently, we've just been having this massive, okay, so like up to speed now is like this massive copyright discussion, because obviously this is all hosted on GitHub. There's licenses, but they're like I don't know this world at all. So it's like, so yeah, it's open source. Yeah, because you're in this world. That's like your career. Right, so that's a whole ordeal. Like, I think he had a original license, but then obviously he deleted his repo, so I don't know what went on with that. And then recently he might have changed the license. So there's a lot of like that going on. Furthermore, a lot of it was like code that had been preliminary Gamatronators. So there's a lot of like, okay, Gamatronator's code got mixed in with Gamatro's code, got mixed in with your code, got mixed in with Electron's code snippets. So it's like a lot of like merging of intellectual property in terms of like the copyright of code snippet, like whatever. They're just snippets, but at the end of the day, they matter and they're like important and they have copyright. And so yeah, it's a new chapter for me. I think this is why like primarily I brought on Colette, because I think we're just going to retry from scratch. I say from scratch, but there's always like that derivation factor of like, okay, we love how it looks, we love how it operates, it's great. How can we derive something new, but like it actually be from scratch, quote unquote? Yeah, we just like kind of want to branch away from the whole drama from the past with the whole copyright stuff. But it is open source at the end of the day, but it's like there's so much drama about that. It's like, I think you and I have a very much similar approach to how that should be resolved, and I think other people have other approaches, and that's where it got kind of messy. But
usually like if something's truly open source, there's like two approaches that people will take. One is like, you know, the MIT license or something like that, which is, you know, this is free, anybody can take it, anybody can do whatever, you can sell it, you can modify it, you can do whatever. Then there's another one that's called the GPL.
Yeah.
The new license. And that one's more like, if you copy it and use it, like you're totally free to do that. But if you then like include that in your code base, you have to make the resulting code base also free and open source. Like you can't include an open source GPL thing and then go turn around and sell it and not let people, you know, make changes to it and stuff. So if you want to keep the spirit of if someone copies it, they have to like release their new version. That would be like the GPL. MIT is like whoever can just do whatever they want.
okay, yeah, he has the not the MIT, so the GPL. He has the GPL license on it. Yeah.
If he truly does, then that really does clear it up, and then, you know, we can do whatever with our forks as long as we keep that license going.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we both stayed true to it. We've not put a paywall on our calculators. I am considering like a freemium model in the future. That's why I kind of want to revamp everything, only because I want to like expand this to a team, and that's kind of the only way to like actually, you know, pay people for their time and effort in maintaining something, especially if it's
Like you can put a paywall and do whatever.
Oh, really?
Like selling the code itself.
Oh, got it. Okay. Oh, you mean like, oh, got it. Okay. Interesting. Would you recommend, so like, you know how we've experimented with this whole login feature? Obviously, we're using Supabase, which is like a secure database storage for everyone's, encrypted information and stuff like that. But like, would you still recommend keeping it open source whilst like we kind of explore more login features?
Well, I think we should have a split. Like, there's probably the core of like the Gematria calculator that's basically all the math and stuff that like kind of makes this work. Everything you add onto it, I mean, I would consider that almost like your own project, your own repo, of which like Gematria is a base, and then you can, that's where the licenses start to matter. So like, you make the whole thing like sort of GPL, fine, but you can still have user databases and still have private stuff. It matters like sort of what you publish. What you publish, what you run can be different. Just because you have like encrypted user data, it's not like, oh, it's open source. I have to like give the world my encrypted user data.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my God, that solves so many queries for me. Thank you so much. I was like, I'm so new to this world. Let me click on this calculator. This post. So I made this post. I used your logo. I love your logo. Actually, you know what? Like, we still have your logo on the very top of our website because for one, I don't even know. It's a favicon. Yeah. It's forks. I literally don't know how to change it. I should probably put it into Claude Code and just be like, can you help me change this favicon? Okay. No, but it's so funny. But honestly, it also kind of just reminds me of you and your code, so kind of just keep it. But like, okay, so I love your logo that you made. It's so cool. Like, let me go to your so you have two Twitters, right? So you have the one for your
Yeah, I have like one folder for like kind of like
Okay, yeah. So which one are you using more now? Like your personal one?
My personal one, I haven't posted from the LN Hyper in a while.
Why is that? Because this one kind of carries your brand name, but you're just trying to like opening yourself up more publicly now. Is that it?
Yeah, I was anonymous like for a long time, and that's kind of my name on Discord, and I was using that Twitter handle because I'm also in the Bitcoin space, and anonymity is kind of a big thing for that.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, I was like, I was out there enough, and then I started doing the conferences and under my real name, and at that point, I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll just switch over to my like actual personal profile.
Okay, that's so interesting that you were actually taking like a lot of this Gematria learnings and calculator stuff to the Bitcoin crowd, right? Like in a way, like you kind of were mentioning cryptography and it. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, we're united by the term cryptography because encrypted. I mean, even if it's a financial. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, okay, chat. Yeah, Hyperdope has come back from hiatus, so I'm so happy to like finally introduce you to like a lot of the Cyphers history has been because of you, but it was because you were anonymous in a way. It was like there was a year maybe that you were on hiatus, so it's kind of like difficult to kind of bring attention to that entire journey. But yeah, what's next for you? Like, because you had figured out a way to like host your own videos, right?
Yeah, so I have my site Hyperdope, which again will be back up like hopefully in the next week or so. It's self-hosted videos. You run your own platform. I want to make that whole thing open source as well, but I've saved videos for the last 10, 15 years. So I've got like around 9,000 videos posted going all the way back on all of these topics and all the related topics, like all the stuff that they might delete on YouTube or stays hidden or censored. I try to have like a repository of all that stuff. And that's just for my own purposes. I want that for like legacy and for like next generation to have all the information out there. I don't really see it as a like money-making thing, but at the same time, I implemented the features from into Bitcoin for like, use the Lightning Network, and you can block a video, unlock it with a few stats.
Mm-hmm.
And that had never been done before. Like, how do you do like a Lightning unlock to stream like HLS video? But that's what I put together. That's what I've been talking about like at the conferences, because people have been wanting that for a while.
That's so awesome. Honestly, like I'm so impressed with the caliber of your work. That's like you're such a genius. Like I've not heard of anyone else doing that. It's kind of like BitChute, right? It's like an alternate to YouTube. Yeah, which obviously we're aware because we're in the space where we know that so much of this gets memory hold. So like for you to be archiving and saving things, that's like important and integral. I'm trying to find, so you were at the Bitcoin conference. So that's so cool. Honestly, thank you for like sharing this with the world and not being afraid to share it. It's so refreshing.
No, and it's important for the world to like have all this. It's important to me that like all of the ciphers are fully open source. Like you can do whatever you want with like the code and like I like your idea of just rebuilding it from scratch, which is easy these days with AI.
Yeah.
But like obviously the ways that the numbers relate to the letters, that's like uncopyrightable.
Uh-huh.
And out there, and I just want that to all be like permanently available for everybody who wants to like find it and decode, what's going on in the world.
100,000,000%. And I'm right there with you. Like, I never wanted to monetize or anything. And like, if I do, it's gonna be like everything that you need to decode is free. This is just an extra, like, kind of like merch version of like, I don't know, some reports or something. Yeah. Did you actually? Oh my god. Oh my god, I need to get your merch. That is so sick. Yeah, when your website's back up, let me know. Oh, sick.
I guess one other thing is I finished the review. Like you had sent me your like list of words. That's the other thing that AI helps with, like that initial list of the demonstrator. Like
Yeah.
if that was a good list, I'd say we cut it down by like at least half. Like there was a lot of gross stuff in there. And was also a cool process.
Mm-hmm.
The way AI works is it's like it finds words and it has inference of like vectors of how those words relate to other words. So it's like the perfect tool to just be like, okay, here's the words, find more related similar words that like have a certain bar. And so now I think I have the word list set to like about 250,000.
Oh my god. Okay.
It has all your stuff folded in. And I also changed the way the database loads so that it like pre-calculates everything. And so you may want to like fork my code again. Like it makes the whole database load so much faster. It makes all the matches work so much faster because it's all pre-calculated. We can get more into that like another time, but yeah, some cool stuff on the calculator side. You see when I relaunch it.
No, thank you. That's amazing. Like, yeah, I just need a lesson, or maybe I could do it with Claude, but like of forking your code again, but then re-implementing all the changes I made. Like, I like meshing yours. Okay.
And I was actually going to look at that for you since you gave me the repo. I was going to red team it a little bit to see if you have like, security vulnerabilities, which is something I had always avoided with user accounts and logins and stuff. It's like that's such a wide surface area.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can't harden it, but like, it's better to be safe.
1,000,000%, yeah.
The code that I probably added is in a different area from what you added, so it should be like a clean merge, but definitely something to look at, something Claude could help with.
Oh my god, thank you so much. That is so incredibly generous. Like that, I think I wrote to you. I don't know, I still don't know the extent of your generosity one time. Like it's not hit me yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like you've been so generous that it's just your generosity multiplies. Like what you've already done multiplies, if that makes sense. Like, not, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited to see where the future goes. And like, I like, this is why I'm like so interested in like the history of this all, because I just value everyone who's contributed so much. And I'm like so excited for you guys and your story. Like, I'm like, I wish I could, immortalize this. But yeah, okay. Well, I think we'll have to kind of liaison. Obviously, like, everyone's so busy, but yeah, so like status check of kind of try and merge the features that you mentioned. And then, yeah, Colette and we've been discussing, but like continue to discuss this new generation, like of trying to help people decode. But yeah, how do you feel about like you being an instrumental coder and making sure those ciphers that, ended up being the CCRU's Nick Land's favorites? Like, how does that feel? Because like, it must...
wanted or asked for this stuff, but I did want to like make an impact and put something valuable into the world. So that's super satisfying if people found value out of it. Like, of all the projects I'm doing, this one seems to have had the most impact so far. So it's inspiring for me to do it for other things.
That's amazing. It's so wild how that turns out. Yeah, I really want to know if there's any more congruence with the Hyperdope and like the fact that, Nick Land popularized hyperstition. It's so interesting that like double use of hyper. It's like, what is going on?
Totally. And I mean, I definitely put in Hyperdope into like probably the demonstrator calculator back in the day.
Yeah.
What the A scores that like, numbers were. And I tried a few names but it was something about the way the numbers hit me for Hyperdope is kind of why I picked it. So that's kind of funny of itself.
Literally, the more we like learn about this, the trippier it gets, honestly. Like, and how cool it like. I mean, this is literally part of the lore, like the hyperstition lore, like the future affects the past. You know what I mean? It's wild. All right. Well, it is 6 a.m. over here. I've pulled an all-nighter. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, okay. Good morning. Literally. Thanks for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. It was so good to hear your voice again. And yeah, we'll catch up in the future.
Yeah, great to chat. Would love to jump on again sometime. I'll let you know when it starts back up and my thoughts on the red teaming and integration stuff.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right, y'all. See y'all. Cheers. Bye.